wonderful thing about Megacon and Comic-Con and pop culture conventions is that when you're a cosplayer, the only thing we see is the character.
Look who we're hanging with.
That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Jason David Frank.
Boom shakalaka.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hanging With Web Show. I'm GW Pomacher.
Christian Basil.
And we are here on the floor of Megacon 2018. We have been hanging out all week and long.
Yeah, it is Sunday, and when he says we're on the floor, we're literally on the floor. People have been picking us up off the floor as we've been sweating and dying over here.
And that guy's not pressing charges or nothing.
Oh.
So we're really happy. We're here right now hanging with comic creator Alex Vanilla. Alex, thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you.
And as a bonus, because we discussed this beforehand off camera, and we decided that the three of us was not interesting enough for YouTube. So he has brought his character, Shiverlique, from the comic coming out here.
The comic book's name is Antioch.
Antioch, and his character is Shiverlique.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You look absolutely amazing. The eyes are freaky, which is awesome. Man, thank you for coming and hang out.
I appreciate this.
That's great. We don't need to do the picture.
Let's
Just film there
start.
the whole time.
You are getting ready to debut Antioch.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about Antioch.
Okay.
Because that's kind of sounds like the right thing to do, doesn't it? Yeah.
Basically, the comic book is about two brothers. One is named David, the other one is named Aaron. And basically, David happens to be a police graduate, and his brother Aaron is a full-class detective. So basically what happened was he wants his younger brother to follow his footsteps, and he chose not to. He decided to be like a graphic artist and photographer. But
As one does.
Yes, exactly. So then what happened? Then after his brother Aaron gets murdered, and so David now is all alone in this big city called Antioch. He doesn't know what to do. So then finally he finds a comic book in his brother's place, that's now his place, and he starts reading it. And once he reads it, the superhero comes to life, and that's when the adventures begin. However, also characters of the character's name is Comic Book Guy who comes to life. He also his enemies like Shiverlique also come to life as well. So now they're fighting in the real world.
So you get to be a bad guy.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll be back.
So then basically that's
Every comment you made off camera is coming.
It just you catch the rest of the deleted scenes. Seriously.
Alex, what inspired you to put this story together?
So basically, what inspired me was basically that I've been collecting comic books for more than since I was 17. And also I wanted to do something different because I don't feel like, for example, I'm from Latin descent, and I don't think there's not enough diversity out, behind and in front of the comic book world today. So that's why all my characters are from different ethnic background. Like Comic Book Guy is going to be Spanish, but he's based off of me. He's going to speak English first, then Spanish second. But Shiverlique is Russian descent, so she's going to be speaking Russian, and then underneath you're going to see the translation. The more themes besides the diversity, you're going to see, like, for example, like the traditional good versus evil storylines. You see evil versus evil because Shiverlique fights with her sister called Incinerate. You're also going to find stories about human trafficking, homelessness, bullying.
So you're taking on some super contemporary issues. Comics has always been a place where we could take some of society's most pressing issues and bring them forward.
Exactly.
And so, we saw this in the big names. We saw this in Marvel and X-Men and places like this. In today's society, what made you want to use comic books as a way to talk about diversity, to talk about these really big issues of the day?
In regards to diversity, basically, like I said, I am from Latin descent, and we don't have a superhero that represents us. The closest that we have is Zorro, and he's 19th century. Here we are, we're in the 21st century, No one. And that's where comic book.
By the way, I still wouldn't mess with Zorro. That
That's
was
true,
one of
too.
my favorite
Yes.
heroes growing up.
Yes.
And so it was a good hero to have.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
but bringing that up to date, that's it's like every other hero that we have. It's arguable that our DC and Marvel superheroes are really a little more the reincarnations of Greek and Roman gods.
Exactly.
However, the Hispanic community has not had an update
Exactly.
on those heroes
Right.
for 100 years.
I think there's what DC has. I can't think of a name. Blue something. I think that it just came out.
But most of these superheroes, either from DC or from Marvel, that are Latinos, are not a major role like a Spider-Man or Batman.
Right. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
want to change that. That's where my character, comic book guy, comes into effect. I want him to be the major superhero that represents Latinos, and not just one particular group of Latinos, all Latinos.
That really is a fantastic vision statement. We were talking a little bit off camera, and I think it's worth mentioning. You are part of what is a very, very new piece of pop culture, which is as you promote the coming comic, you brought a cosplayer to come out and do your characters.
Exactly.
So you can introduce your characters, you know, as a part of that world.
Yeah.
We're going to start here. What attracted you to doing this character for this?
Honestly, he inspired me of how he
He seems
wanted
to do that. He seems inspiring.
He does. No, but he really he wants to, bring out there, the bullying. He wants to bring out there, different nationalities. He wants to bring out their imagination, but good imagination, not involve sex or vulgar or anything like that.
But I do like.
Which is a lot. I mean, come on.
But I do like the
This is
similarities.
YouTube. I know how you guys accidentally found the show. I know what you were Googling.
There you go.
But Alex has a character whose characters come off the page. So this is a very nice take and something parallel to that. And not only that, this is wonderful because it gives a tangible feeling to the audience who are coming
It's always
back.
great when your readers or your future readers have a chance to interact with a character. Okay, so using cosplayers to introduce your characters, before the book comes out.
Right. Well, it's you could consider like a guerrilla marketing or backwards marketing, but it's been effective because that way people could understand these are original characters, and then basically to them to interact and ask me questions about my characters, and then after they can look us up through our Facebook page and Instagram, and they get to know more about my characters. Like Shiverlique is a good example. Shiverlique happens to be the sister of Incinerate. She's like an ice queen. She's like the attention. She likes you flirting with her and everything. However,
Which is a good thing on this show.
right. However,
I'm going to keep to myself with this. Sorry.
However, when you say something like, man, you're smoking hot, then she says, wait a minute, she compares hers out, and then she thinks you're comparing her to her sister Incinerate. And then while she does this, she'll come here, and then she'll just stare at you and gives you what's called the stare of death, where she freezes you automatically. You're a frozen statue, and she goes, blink, and then you're smashed into 1,000 pieces.
This man has a very warped imagination.
Yeah.
And we're all getting ready to love it.
Yeah.
So,
I dated worse in high school. It's all right. And worse things have happened.
he's not lying.
No, he's
It's
not.
true.
I'm not.
So, as the character develops, while you're out, sharing this character, do you get to know a little bit more about what's going on?
Yes.
Yeah, and you get to develop your character a little bit?
Yes, and I love it. So much fun being out of my element of what I'm not used to, just getting used to it with my character. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting, and it's nice to bring that childhood back, memories back.
It is. It is. This is a huge candy store for the nerd and geek and all of us.
Yes.
It
Yep.
really is. You guys have gotten to walk around and do stuff. Now, I understand you're going to debut Antioch here next year.
Lord willing.
That's the plan,
That's
right?
my plan. To have a little booth and to, promote, besides my comic book, my characters as well, and series.
Is this your first comic?
This is my first comic.
This is your first comic? Welcome to the artist community.
Thank you.
Ramen noodles are on sale, aisle 7.
All right. Thank you.
At Costco, they're $1 for a pack of 24. So.
That's right. What did you do before you became a comic creator?
Basically, well, I work in the real job. I have a real job that I work as a salesman. But I just felt that, I want to do something different. I want to give something because I like giving back to the community. I used to work for the homeless here in Orlando for 5 years. But I want to do something also for the Latinos. I mean, I was born here, but I also have this Latin blood that I want to do something more positive. Because what really also inspired me was this wrestler, which I'm not going to mention his name. He basically had a theme song, and he was Spanish, and he says that we lie, we cheat, and steal. To me, that does not send a good message, not only to the young kids, but about Latinos in general.
And you picked and it wasn't a choice. It obviously, you're inspired when you're inspired, but you chose a wonderful time in comic culture history to tell this story.
Exactly.
Because this is the time. We are changing the paradigm of how our stories are told.
Yes.
There's more diversity in comic culture and in pop culture than there ever has been before. And it increases every day. And it is so fantastic to see you're a part of that now. You're going to be a permanent part of that shift.
Yes, I'm excited.
That's amazing. And you get to play a supervillain from a comic book.
Yes.
And you get to throw, like he said, because he's telling a story of diversity, you get to have a little fun with ethnicities in there as well. Are you having a good time with that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
This is the wonderful thing about Megacon and Comic-Con and pop culture conventions is that when you're a cosplayer, the only thing we see is the character. We see Shiverlique.
Yeah.
And so I don't get to know what your background is. Because, did you know that very few Latinos have white hair? But it's a thing now. Shiverlique does. Shiverlique is Russians-ish. If Snow Queens could have ethnicity, Russia would be a good one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a shot of vodka.
So Antioch, how do you envision Antioch? Is it going to be a comic series? Is it a graphic novel?
It's going to be a comic series.
Okay.
I wanted to continue, because I grew up with G.I. Joe and Transformers.
Yeah.
And I wanted to follow their footsteps. So I wanted to, of course, have my comic book. Maybe put it also online as well for the people. You never know. It could be I'm thinking about doing maybe like a reality show one day about having people out the street to become a supervillain or superhero. TV show, regular TV show.
I'm in. That's awesome.
There's a lot of things too. Or maybe a movie. You never know.
So where are you guys going to be next? Which conventions are coming up for you guys?
We're going to be working on her video.
Okay.
Her video, because her sister Incinerate has one, so gotta be fair. So we're going to plan to do that hopefully like around July or August of this year. It's going to be like a 7 to 8 minute video where she freezes the victim. And then we're planning to go to
Always a good day.
Yeah.
We're fantastic, man. We're so glad that you got to come over and hang out with us. Thank you so much
for
hanging
having
with
us.
us.
Yes.
We want to make sure the stage grabs some links from you guys so we can share the links down below. People can follow your progress, see how you guys are coming along.
Yes.
Make sure you share your cosplay links. We'd love to see your cosplays, okay?
All right.
We're going to wrap it up. Christian, why don't you thank some folks?
Sure. We're going to thank everybody from Summon Unique Magazine, Famous Faces and Funnies, Krypton Radio, iHeartRadio, Off the Chain with author Yvonne Mason, Space Coast Comics, Jake and David, always high, and Asylum Convention and Entertainment Services.
You know what? We can't forget to thank
What's that?
those guys. Those guys right
All of you
there.
are watching us.
You guys tune in,
Thank you
share
so
the
much.
video, share these artists and these creators. We have talked to some of the hardest working, most creative people we can imagine here at Megacon 2018. We hope you'll share them on the internet. We also hope that you'll subscribe right now so you can come back. You can log on. You can tune in. And you can see who we're hanging with next.
Thank you for letting me bring the superhero to your life.
Thank you.